Hi there, I'm Caroline, and my fabulous brother Drew.
What's up, all?
And as you know, anytime we come across a new way of thinking, a new technique that's incredibly empowering, our first thought is to share it with you. And we have come across one that has really had such a profound effect on our lives, and that's understanding how we create stories and we create truths in our lives that we're living in, but in actuality, these truths are not really true. So I'll give you an example. Something happens in your life. Something happens. Let's take a couple getting divorced, and they have young children. That child typically thinks that they had something to do with it. And because of that, they create this story that something's wrong with me or I'm not lovable. What happened was a couple got divorced. The child saw that and they interpreted what happened as I'm not lovable. And so then they took this story that they created of I'm not lovable and lived their life in this story and probably found other relationships that proved to them that they weren't lovable or they weren't good enough. And in fact, more often than not, they're creating this story, this truth that is not true at all. And so what we've learned to do is actually look back in our lives and think about where have we created stories and where are we living in these stories that are not empowering us. And how can we now stop, remove this constraint, this story, this falsehood, and invent a new possibility. In this example of the child with divorced parents, I am lovable. I am good enough. That had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with them. So my brother's actually going to give you a personal example of how he was able to see a story that he was living in.
Yes, thanks, Caroline. So with me, it had to do with my parents and my career choices. So after I had graduated from college, I went into the workforce and I became a chemical engineer, which is very solid, very stable job. But then I wanted to go and pursue other interests. I wanted to try entrepreneurship. I wanted to try and start some businesses and really test the waters out there. And as I was conferring with my parents, because we have a very open communication and dialogue, they were very weary and they didn't like the idea that I had, and suggested that I stay focused, stay in chemical engineering, stay in corporate America, and not go out there and pursue what to me was a dream of mine. So I created a story associated with that. When they told me not to go ahead and to stay in corporate, I can't do it. I can't do that. Therefore, my parents are saying, stay in chemical engineering. But what really just happened is that they were giving me advice on where they would choose if they were given the same set of circumstances, and they would choose to follow the corporate path. It was merely that. It was just giving me some business advice.
And they loved you and they wanted you to have stability.
Exactly. So the story of I'm not good enough was created all in here. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Was created all in here. And once I recognized that I created that story, I realized, first of all, I don't really believe that I can't do that, you know? I really believe that I can do that. But the thing is, it's hidden from us. And we operate our lives that way. And so you go out and you can create an experience and fail at it because in the underlying or subconscious part, you say, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. And you would move into failure, sabotage a business, you know, go belly up, whatever. It happens because that's the underlying feeling. The recognition of which crushes it. Yeah. It destroys it, and you get to create and rewrite your story. And for me, that's, I can do anything I set my mind to. So powerful, powerful stuff. And it's amazing how we assign meaning to everything that happens. We really are meaning machines, so we really have to take some time and go in and re-meaning what we have created as a story.
Yeah, and I know this is really brief, so of course make sure you read the blog to kind of understand on a deeper level what this all means and how you can actually start to uncover the stories that you've been living in. Because we really, really, really encourage you to stop and think about things that happened in the past that may just have happened and what meaning you associated with it, what story you created around it. Because if you can start to remove those truths, but really falsehoods, you can really, really start to live an amazing life. And that is what we wish for you. So thank you so much. If you have any questions or comments, of course, leave them below, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.
Thanks. High five.